Hello! How are you? And today a curiosity about some places surrounded by mysteries that makes our eyes broad. Let's go! You know that the Bermuda Triangle is an area in the Atlantic Ocean that is surrounded by mysteries? This region, which is composed of an imaginary triangle formed by the tips of Bermuda Island, the city of San Juan in Puerto Rico, and the city of Miami in the United States, has caught the attention of many people due to its supposed anomalous behavior of its waters and the mysterious disappearance of planes and boats. Dark stories about the Bermuda Triangle date back many years, and even Christopher Columbus reported problems with his compass during his journey. However, the most famous incident happened in 1945 when 5 American planes disappeared mysteriously. In 1951, a U.S. cargo plane also vanished without explanation, taking more than 50 people with it. Since then, there have been many other cases of disappearances, shipwrecks, and deaths in the region. This has led the general population and book authors to come up with incredible theories such as the presence of extraterrestrials, passages to other worlds, and even aquatic monsters. In the scientific community, the most accepted theory is that methane gas in the waters resulting from the formation of submerged volcanoes in the oceans could cause effects on the atmosphere and the waters, causing accidents with ships and planes that pass through the area. Even so, the mystery remains about the Bermuda Triangle, and stories about this region continue to capture people's imagination. Have you heard of Stonehenge? This megalithic monument is one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Comprised of enormous stones that can weigh up to 50 tons, it was constructed over 5,000 years ago during the Neolithic period. It is believed that this stone circle may have been used as a solar calendar, aligning perfectly with the sunrise on the summer solstice and other phases of the moon and winter solstice. However, the exact purpose of this monument is still unknown. Some believe that Stonehenge may have been used as a cemetery, while others theorize about its connections with extraterrestrial activities. Furthermore, there is great curiosity about how the Neolithic men managed to transport these enormous stones to the site and where they came from. Stonehenge is a fascinating mystery that challenges the most logical explanations and invites the imagination to explore the most surprising possibilities. Another place is Area 51, shrouded in mystery and conspiracy theories that fuel the curiosity of many people. Located in a desert region in Nevada, the United States Air Force Base is prohibited for the general public and highly protected by armed guards, electronic surveillance, and alert signals with runways up to 12,000 feet long. The facility is part of a vast restricted military area of over 1 million hectares that includes the Nevada Test and Training Range and the Nevada Test Site, where nuclear weapons were tested for decades. Officially, Area 51 was created during the Cold War to test and develop military aircraft, including the U-2 and State Route 71 Blackbird. However, its true purpose is still a mystery, and widely speculated that the base houses extraterrestrial technology and activities. Although visible in satellite images, flying over Area 51 is illegal, and any information about what happens within its boundaries is highly confidential. Nevertheless, in 2013, the CIA finally admitted the existence of Area 51, and 4 months later, the then President of the United States, Barack Obama, became the first to mention it publicly. Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, is a hidden treasure in the South Pacific Ocean. This triangular volcanic island is about 170 square kilometers, 24 kilometers long and 12 kilometers wide, and is often called the Big Island, navel of the world, or eyes fixed on the sky. Its mystery lies in the fact that it is located thousands of kilometers from the continent and harbors many secrets. With a population of about 4,000 inhabitants, the island's capital, Hongaroa, houses most of its residents, 80%. Easter Island has belonged to Chile since 1888, but before that, it was governed by the Spanish since 1770. Easter Island is located in the eastern Polynesia, at a distance of 3,700 kilometers from the west coast of Chile and 4,000 kilometers from Tahiti, making it the most isolated place in the world. The history of Easter Island dates back about 3 million years when the island emerged from volcanic eruptions. probably some civilizations inhabited the island before it was discovered by Dutch Admiral Jacob Roggeveen in 1772 on Easter Sunday, hence the name of the island. The original inhabitants of the island were called Rapanui and had a hieroglyphic script called Rongo Rongo, which has not been deciphered by any researcher to this day. The island was inhabited by about 15,000 people who lived off fishing and farming, but the impoverished soil and gradual deforestation gradually made life difficult and the ancient civilizations collapsed. The cult of the Birdman was a ritual that occurred among the island's inhabitants, where the winner of a race to a nearby small island and brought back an intact egg would be elected ruler for 1 year. Easter Island is a mystical place full of mysteries that defy human understanding. The nearly 900 moai, enormous statues with human forms carved from volcanic stone, are one of the island's greatest enigmas. It is estimated that they were built by the Rapa Nui people between 1200 and 1500 AD, but no one knows how they were made or why the civilization disappeared. Each tip of the island also has a volcanic crater, adding even more mystery to this magical place. Come and explore Easter Island and discover its secrets for yourself. The sacred mountain Kailash, located in the Tibetan region, has been a subject of fascination and mystery for various cultures and people throughout history. While Hindus believe that Shiva, the god of destruction of evil, is in perpetual meditation on the mountain, Tibetan Buddhists claim that Mount Kailash represents Buddha Dencho, the representative of supreme happiness. However, despite its spiritual significance, no human has ever been able to climb Kailash. Many people have died attempting to climb it, and Chinese authorities have officially banned climbers from venturing on the mountain due to its religious character. Kailash is also of interest to Russians, who have a long history of fascination with it. The Russian spiritualist artist believed in the existence of a mystical kingdom called Shambhala near the mountain. Some Hindu sects refer to Shambhala as Shangri-La and believe that perfect people reside there. According to local legend, climbers who managed to climb beyond a certain point suddenly aged several decades and died of old age a year later. In 1999, Russian ophthalmologist Hermes led an expedition to uncover the secrets of Kailash. His team, composed of experts in physical geology and history, believed they had found evidence that the mountain was actually a huge artificial pyramid built in ancient times. In his academic article Where We Came From, he wrote that he had heard strange sounds coming from the interior of the mountain and suggested that if they could live inside the supposed pyramid. The Tibetan texts describe Shambhala as a spiritual country located in the northwest of Kailash, while the Himalayans refer to the sacred mountain as a pyramid. Furthermore, ancient Vedic texts describe a mountain as a cosmic axis. Although the discussion about the true nature of Kailash is difficult to approach from a scientific point of view, there is evidence that the Kailash complex is directly related to life on Earth. When the team led by Madar Sheaf mapped the city of the gods, composed of pyramids and stone mirrors, they realized that the structure was similar to the spatial structure. Petra is an ancient and mysterious city carved into the rocks of Jordan, a country with vast desert areas. Built millennia ago, Petra was an important commercial center at the crossroads of routes that transported spices, silk, and incense from India to other places. With a population of about 20,000 people at its peak, the city's builders were able to carve buildings with unique facades into the cliff walls, showcasing high-level architectural skill. The main entrance to the city, called the Treasury, is a magnificent gate carved into pink sandstone, giving the city its nickname, the Rose City. The city has faced jealous enemies, including the Greeks, but it won the fight for its wealth. Later, under the rule of the Roman and Byzantine empires, the city continued to flourish until it was hit by a major earthquake in the 4th century AD that irreparably damaged it. Over time, Petra lost its strategic importance and became a lost city hidden in the sands of Jordan's deserts. The Bedouin tribes, who called themselves descendants of the Nabateans, lived in the ruins of the city, keeping it secret from Westerners for many years to avoid destruction of their constructions. Petra remains an intriguing mystery to this day, with more questions than answers about its construction and history. Chernobyl. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986 created one of the most radioactive areas in the world known as the Chernobyl exclusion zone. The explosion released 400 times more radiation into the atmosphere than the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and covered Europe with nuclear fallout. The exclusion zone has an area of about 2,700 square kilometers around a radius of 30 kilometers from the power plant, considered the most severely radioactive environment, and was isolated for anyone except government officials and scientists. Evacuation began immediately after the explosion, with about 116,000 people being relocated in the following weeks and months, reaching a total of around 200,000 people before the end of the evacuation. The exclusion zone was divided into 3 distinct regions before the end of the evacuation, including a high radiation region within a 10 km radius of the power plant, where re-entry is permanently prohibited, a moderately radioactive region where the public can return once the radiation has decreased to safe levels, and a sporadically radioactive region from which children and pregnant women were transferred to less radioactive areas soon after the disaster. The area of the exclusion zone expanded in the following years. In early 2022, tensions between Russia and Ukraine led to an increase in military presence in the area. More than 100 radioactive elements were released into the atmosphere immediately after the disaster, with the most dangerous isotope being iodine, still present in the area. Iodine can cause thyroid cancer, while strontium can cause leukemia, and cesium has particularly harmful effects on the liver and spleen. A palace complex in the center of Beijing played a key role as the heart of Imperial China for over 500 years, representing the divine authority of Chinese emperors. Built by the emperor, the palace housed 24 emperors and 2 dynasties throughout its history, even after the democratic and communist revolutions that transformed China in the early 20th century. The Forbidden City remains the most prominent built relic of a cosmopolitan empire. Beijing served as the capital of various empires and dynasties for a millennium, but by the early 15th century, it was relatively unimportant and had fallen into disrepair. However, the Emperor Zhu Di, also known as the Yongle Emperor, decided to make it his capital after spending many years in the northern plains of China. Instigating a civil war to take control of the empire from his nephew, he ordered a huge collection of building materials from across the empire to be brought to the capital, including large amounts of marble from forests 1,500 kilometers away from Beijing. Yongle had a grand vision for Beijing, which was to be a city of districts within districts, surrounded by walls 12 meters high. In the center of the city, surrounded by another wall, was the imperial city, which encompassed the homes of the emperor's relatives, the offices of the imperial bureaucracy, 2 temples, and a park decorated with artificial lakes. At the heart of the imperial city, surrounded by a moat and a 3rd set of walls, was the Forbidden City. More than 1 million workers, many of whom were criminals, convicts, or conscripted workers, helped to build the glorious capital envisioned by Yongle. In the summer of 1795, young Daniel McInnes was exploring Nova Scotia's island in Canada when he stumbled upon a circular depression in the ground and a ship's pulley hanging from a nearby tree. Knowing of the pirate stories in the area, he decided to investigate with his friends John Smith and Anthony Vaughan. They discovered layers of gravel, oak boards, and other intriguing evidence at a depth of 27 meters. A mystery intensified with the discovery of a stone with inscriptions in an unknown alphabet that supposedly indicated the presence of buried treasure at 40 feet deep. However, the search was interrupted by floods and ingenious traps that frustrated the efforts of the company founded to find the treasure. For over 200 years, Oak Island has been the subject of speculation and fascination for treasure hunters and mystery enthusiasts. The story of Daniel and Messenger and their friends is just the beginning of a saga that continues to this day. The Bering Sea is one of the coldest and most dangerous seas in the world, located in the northern part of planet Earth between Asia and North America, with an approximate area of 2.3 million square kilometers and a maximum depth of 4,000 meters. It is controlled by the United States and Russia due to its strategic location. The sea receives water from rivers and has a great marine biodiversity, including species of whales, sea lions, and seals. Fishing is the most developed economic activity in the region, with species appreciated worldwide. However, the Bering Sea faces concerning environmental issues, including the rise of water levels due to melting ice caused by global warming, excessive fishing, and water pollution with chemicals and organic waste. It is important to note that during the last period of the Ice Age, the Bering Sea's water level was reduced, allowing the migration of several peoples through the Bering Strait and the occupation of America. If you liked the video, please let us know which of these places you found the most mysterious and leave your comment. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, which is very important to us. Thank you very much for watching the video. Bye bye.